Hey everybody, my name is Darian Orvin, and today on the Still Fist podcast, we are joined by Jake Banuelos, who is the other half of the title fight that is coming on August 11th against Jordan Gonzalez for the 135-pound amateur belt. How are you feeling today, Jake?
I feel pretty well. Doing good. How are you doing?
Awesome. I've been better, but not too bad.
Let's see.
Cool. So you have a pretty long fight career, at least as far as Tapology shows, that you've been fighting for about a decade, and seems like you started pretty young. So, what's been your upbringing and your introduction into combat sports?
I want to say so. My first fight I ever did watch was Rampage versus Chuck Liddell. So that being my first fight, that was a banger. Heavy hitters. I remember watching that with my dad back in I think like 2000 and something, way when UFC was super young, and that's just what kind of got me into it. And I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Again, like in my still fist interview, I was getting in trouble in school, messing around and not doing the right thing with fighting, and that kind of led me to wanting to change my life and not be that person who everyone thought I was going to be.
Cool. Yeah, no, you can definitely that. I wonder if that fight has a little bit of an influence on just your fight style now, because as in that little preview that I was putting together, like you're just dropping all these guys with one shot at 135 pounds, which is pretty uncommon. Um, did you wrestle or anything like that in high school? Were your family athletes or anything like that?
So yes, I did wrestle in high school, and then I did do a lot of wrestling work with my cousin in my I think it was my second still fist fight, or my third still fist fight with David Garcia. My cousin James, who had passed away, who I dedicated that fight to. Um, he was the one who helped me a lot with my wrestling and showed me a lot because he wrestled all throughout elementary into high school, and so we would go over to my uncle James's house, and he had mats on the garage door, the garage floor there. So we were always on the mats wrestling, messing around with jujitsu, and getting just learning different techniques, learning different things that we would just come up with or we would see. And then again, my uncle James, I believe, is a purple belt. He would always show us a thing or two with the gi on. So it's been in my system for quite a while now.
Awesome. And so I guess you were saying that you were a troubled kid and fighting kind of uh, got you out of that life. What are the like mental health and what other kind of things have you learned about yourself throughout fighting?
So I've definitely learned that you need to control yourself a little bit more. You can't always let someone get the best of you just by them saying some stupid comment or something they do, or it just little kid stuff, like back in the day they would say, oh, this, and I'd be like, well, nah, that's not right, and then just start going at it, or I would be like, um, hey, that's not right. Like in my head, I'd be like, that's not right. Like I don't need to deal with this, and then I just square up with someone or whatever the case may be. But yeah, it showed me a lot of self-control. MMA has taught me a lot of discipline and how to control yourself, and when you need to let go of a situation like that, just let it fly, let it go over your head. It's nothing big, nothing that's gonna stop you in your day.
Awesome, great. So, another thing that's super exciting about this camp, and I guess it was pretty similar to the last camp, is that both you and Lumberjack are on the same card. Um,
Yeah,
how's it been in the training room? I mean, I guess especially both times you guys, or last time when you guys were training, you didn't get the result that you wanted. So maybe now you're a little bit hungrier and it's a little more intense. So, how's your training been?
yeah, training's coming along very well. Me and Justin, we do a lot of work, together. We're in there on the weekends. We're in there weekdays, Friday nights, Thursday nights, almost every single night we're in there. So, uh, and Justin has taught me a lot from the wrestling aspect as well, of not just shooting a double leg or a takedown, getting a takedown. It's more of a technique wise for him, and and he's a big dude. He's definitely a big dude for me, especially I'm at 140, 145. and he's probably walking around about 178, 180, and just using that body, that big body that he has and that weight. I feel like I have that advantage over someone who's just training with someone with their size or something like that.
Yeah, that's great. Um, so on August 11th, you've got another shot at the title, and seems like overall you're feeling pretty good about it. What are you expecting from Jordan, and what are you just expecting out of this fight in general?
So I've seen his fights. My first time watching him fight was back in December when you were on that card when you fought Jake Konzel.
Okay, yeah,
He fought later on that night, but the man, that dude he gets down, he scraps, and I didn't know it at the time, but he had messed up his shoulder in that fight, and he persevered, went through those 3 rounds, and he beat that dude, and he got the finish. So I know he can go all 3 rounds. This one is 5 rounds, so it's a little bit different, but I don't expect him to not be able to go 5 rounds with me. But yeah, he's a scrappy dude. He's got a lot of fast movement. Feints are really good, and I expect him to bring the best. It's gonna be a good fight overall. I feel like the way we have game planned around it and the situations that we've been in the gym and working constantly. I think we got his number on this one.
awesome. And then the next thing is you are probably the more experienced coming into this fight. I believe you have more fights than him for one, and for another, you've actually gone into. Didn't you guys go into the fourth or fifth round in your last fight? So even just the preparation for those championship rounds. Um, how? Oh man, I lost my train of thought. But what kind of lessons did you carry away from that fight with Vincent that you are hoping to be able to apply into this?
Uh, just more of staying calm, not rushing into anything. I think the first exchange we had, I just rushed it. I don't know what it was. I just was like, all right, I'm gonna put my hands on this dude, and I think I got caught with a right hook, and it didn't drop me, but it caught me real good, and I went to a knee, came back up, and then I was like, all right, let's slow it down a little bit through a leg kick. And then I got caught with another leg kick, and we went down to him. We wrestled, and then as soon as he got up, I was like, all right, this is the moment. He's backing up, threw my punches, threw my combination, caught him, and yeah, it's mostly just control and being calm in there. Like it is a title fight. Really, um, I really don't care that's the title. Like to me, it's just another fight. There's no reason or no meaning behind the fight for me. It's just another. This one is special because it's 5 rounds, but then again, any round, any time, I feel like the fight can end. So, um, yeah, I feel we feel real confident right now. We're feeling good. Training's good, and everything's falling into place.
Awesome. So, you go on to win this belt on August 11th. What does the rest of your amateur career look like?
Oh, so I feel like a couple more fights before we go pro. I know I've been doing this for just about 10 years or so. I think my first fight when I was 15 or 16, something like that. I just turned 27 the other day, so time is ticking. Uh, I feel like I'm getting older, but then again, I feel like everything's just coming to me, and it's like refreshing in my head every time I fight, and then I take a little bit of time off and I come back to the gym, and then we take another fight. Everything just starts to click from the last camp, and so on and so forth. We're just putting slowly the pieces together. So definitely a couple more fights before we go pro, but that is the idea right there. Definitely going to go pro probably within the next year or so, but focusing on this fight right now and putting Jordan away.
Awesome. And then I guess kind of something from my own personal standpoint, having trained with you, and also haven't seen your fights. Do you like harness some dark energy to draw that power, or how do you, what's your mentality coming like into the
Uh,
fights?
Yeah, so I really don't know where it comes from. Like I've told a lot of guys that have been in the gym with me, and they're like, man, you knocked that dude down with one punch, and then they see the next fight. Oh, you knocked him down again with one punch, and I'm just like, I have no idea where it comes from. God gave me this ability to do what I do, and when it happens, it happens. I'm glad I'm on the other side of that fight. So it is what it is sometimes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Um, well, I guess that's pretty much all the questions that I got for you. So I guess now the microphone is yours. Anything you want to say, or any friends or families or sponsors that you want to thank?
Oh yeah, so I got a couple sponsors. I got Radical Chiropractic, who man, I love them. They've been helping me out for the past year or so with sponsorship and getting me adjusted every single time, every ready for every fight, and putting me back in place. So I appreciate Radical. Shout out my gym, SLC Muay Thai, Snake Pit MMA, Coach Alexis and Coach Jake Paul. So those are we're working in there. We're working in there. We're definitely putting in time. Everybody that's in there is not always a fighter, but we're always putting in work. We're getting better every single day. Um, and then shout out to all my family and friends that support me through this. So August 11th, be prepared. Don't blink. It could end quick. Could go 5 rounds. You never know. But we definitely getting that strap this time. We've learned from our mistakes and we're ready. So if uh if that's all that I got to say right now, man.
Awesome. Well, I'm a few days late, but happy birthday! And I also like this is my
Appreciate
most
you.
my most hyped amateur fight. I mean, probably even like local regional fight I've ever seen. So I'm super excited for this one. And yeah, I will see you all on August 11th. Thanks, Jake.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'll see you later.
See you, brother.